so
You know plastic exists, right? But did you know what's the word? That an estimated 8 million tons of plastic goes in the ocean every year. Whoa, that's like you just
Woo! Yeah, baby! That's the equivalent of dumping one full garbage truck into the ocean every minute. Every single minute. And how many minutes of a year in a year? I don't know. That is not just the oceans that are affected. Plastic waste has a significant impact on land-based ecosystems. 130,000 tons of plastic pollution enter Canadians' landfills each year. And every time you sort your plastics, or say goes into the green bin or the orange bin or a box or something, a lot of that doesn't actually get sorted. They're scattered.
we get it. But let's talk about how it affects us.
Hold on a second. What are you watching?
He's gonna go through on food. But let's talk about how this affects us as humans. Anita, do you know how it affects you as a human being?
I eat plastic.
Wait, what? Oh, look who's back.
On a municipal level, many cities are already struggling to manage plastic waste. They're literally being surrounded and succumbing to the force of plastic waste. In Toronto, for example, only 32% of plastic waste is actually recycled. That's, if my math is correct, 68% of the plastic waste going into landfills. It's the same as throwing a plastic bottle that you finished just drinking into the landfill, and it doesn't evaporate.
Plastic evaporates? What? I mean, you're probably gonna walk over a plastic bottle and never really think about it. Or you might just pick it up and throw it at someone, which I feel like doing to Justin right now. But let's not get into that.
Some provinces, such as British Columbia, have implemented things like where you cannot use single-use plastics, such as straws or plastic bags.
That's actually pretty good if you think about it, because that means some places are getting changed in the world today, and we can take some examples from that.
Did you know that where's Alicia?
I think she flew out to outer space just like a few minutes ago. Be back to like 3 years.
Did you know that Rwanda was actually the first city? Is it a city?
What?
Rwanda was actually the first place to ban single-use plastics. However, a lot of people are still using plastic bags. It just means that they're reusing plastic bags or using multiple-use plastic bags. However, that actually doesn't solve the plastic bag problem. So, what is an actual solution?
Speaking of solutions, have you guys heard of Return It?
Yes, I have. Apparently, they're an organization that takes recycled bottles and gives you money.
Yeah, so basically, after you use a bottle,
Consumers buy beverage bottles from like any other store, like Safeway or Save on Foods, and these are eligible containers such as aluminum cans, plastic bottles, glass bottles, such as such, and like cartons and stuff like that, like juice boxes. Once the beverages have been consumed, they take the bottles to return it. Now, when they buy the bottles initially, they need to pay a deposit fee, such as a lot of them are 10 cents. When they go to return it, basically Return It gets the bottle. They can guarantee you that, and you can feel safe that the plastic bottles will be recycled. However, then they also pay you back the deposit fee. This will make it seem like you're actually getting money. The return containers are then sorted, counted, and processed by Return It. The materials are sent to recycling facilities where they can be turned into new products. For example, the aluminum cans of Return It in 2021 were actually sent to a Quebec City where they recycled it and turned them into plastics.
Oh, that's actually decent. I want to compare glasses. But don't forget, still, to this day, around 80 million tons. 8 million tons of plastic waste is still being dumped into the ocean. And Return It is doing a really good job of recycling.
It's a very good initiative.
Yes,
Yeah.
but that isn't enough because human beings suck and we are producing a lot more compared to what we're recycling.
So it sounds like we as individuals also need to take a part in recycling. What can I do as an individual to help make things better?
That is so cringe, but I'll answer it. Now, we were talking about Return It, right? Well, Return It has 170 depots around British Columbia. But these are the depots that we need to take our plastic bottles and actually help them sort it out. And Return It also has 2,700 Return It Express locations, where we can just put the plastic bottles into a bag and put it there. They'll still do the same thing. However, it's more convenient for us.
Absolutely, and we can also reduce our reliance on single-use plastics and use things like recyclable containers more.
And we also need to push for policy changes at the national level. We've talked about the municipal level. We've talked about British Columbia as a province. However, now we also need to hold companies accountable for the creation of single-use plastic waste or plastic waste in general. And we need to incentivize sustainable practices.
Honestly, yeah. And I think programs like Return It are like awesome examples of how businesses should be able to take responsibility for what they do and make the world a better place and make individuals be better.
Exactly, and I think it's important for individuals to also support these programs. By participating in them, we can help promote more sustainable practices.
Yeah, like exactly what you said. Like I think we all have a role to play in what we do about plastic to make the world a better place. So I hope after all this discussion about plastic pollution, what we can do to stop it and return it, I think you should know what plastic pollution is, right? I mean, it's literally plastic like covering our ecosystems and harming wildlife and more, which is really terrible because we eat wildlife if you do, and that harms us and we don't want to be harmed, but we're causing our own problem.
And since we have plastic in everything, essentially everything, we're inhaling plastic microfibers continuously into our system. Although our lungs have grown and evolved to develop and try and synthesize these systems and not cause it to harm us in such a negative way, it is still impacting us. And if we don't stop, plastic use is going to grow exponentially. It's cheap, it's so strong, it's good for us, it's really convenient and easy to find. But we really need to stop it. So
we really do.
I think we've talked about a lot about Return It, but we should give more motivation to our audience why they should help.
For real.
By 2050, if we don't stop, there will be more plastic in the ocean than fish.
Oh no, that's disastrous for the ecosystem.
Don't petty kids.
God damn, that hurt my feelings.
By participating in bottle drives, we can help raise money for a community. Not only are we helping the environment, we're also helping our own community.
By recycling one bottle, I'm pretty sure you can save enough energy for like a 60-watt light bulb for like around 6 hours.
If you recycle just 10 bottles, you can power a laptop for 25 hours.
We are the turning point in this process. That we can use companies like Return It to get money and not just keep the money, but donate it to people like Plastic Oceans to make better solutions instead of just plastic.
Yes, and throughout this entire process, we're doing really, really well for the environment. We're gonna collect our bottles.
We're gonna do our thing.
We're going to donate to charity.
And we're going to
solve plastic pollution
together.
With us together in the script.
This is so crazy.
For real. Bro, I actually need to sit down. Anita, why are you dead?
Hello.
Hello.
Guys. Plastic is such an amazing food source. How can we live without it?
I'm not including that in footage, Anita.
There's like nothing special about this video. I
It's just
swear.
funny. It's just funny.
Oh, yes, did you know that Rwanda... What does this do?
Well, turn it. Well, let's talk about personal stories. Yeah. On to Anita.
I ate plastic once.
Wait, what?
I did too.
Wait, what?
It tastes good.
Huh? That works.
Thank you so much. Finally, we got one sentence done. Next.
Oh, shoot. Fuck you. Bro, now I can't see my face.
You're not supposed to be
I want to see my face.
I don't.
Oh, wait.